We are backstage getting ready for Ability MKE now, so stand by as we'll be live in just a few seconds. Welcome to Ability MKE Now. My name is Sue Roskopf. Ability MKE Now is where we are dedicated to inclusion, connection, community, bringing people together and being relevant to everybody. That's what we do here. We bring people together with disabilities and people that don't have a disability, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our everyday lives. We all have different and unique abilities, and that is what we celebrate. Here at Ability MKE Now, we celebrate the ability in all of us. And I am incredibly excited to bring in our special guest today. We have Keren Kilgore joining us. Keren gets people unstuck spiritually and professionally. She is a mastery of self-coach, guiding people in connecting with their higher power so they can quickly and permanently shift areas of their life that are keeping them stuck. As an author, coaching, and book publisher, Keren Kilgore works with visionary leaders and entrepreneurs who are stuck. Keren connects with you on an energetic level so she can understand your soul's purpose, then guides you in planning for and writing a successful book. She taps her writing, editing, and design skills to create a page-turner with a kick-ass cover. And finally, she'll help you customize a best-selling marketing blueprint to sell as many copies as possible. Keren, I'm so excited to have a chance to talk with you today. How are you?
Oh, Sue, I am great, and it's absolutely a pleasure to be here. I love the energy here. It's awesome. Yes,
As
really good.
can you dive in just a little bit more with what you all do? Because that intrigues me. The whole concept of helping people be unstuck. I
Yeah.
think that's going to hit home with a whole lot of people.
Yes, yes. I've been coaching authors for a long time, 30 years. And when you start to write a book, a lot of stuff comes up, especially if you're writing a memoir or some really, tender, heartfelt memoir type things that you're going through. A lot of stuff comes up. And we want it to be not, we want to write it not from the pain, but from the solution. Tell the story, but people don't want the pain, they want the story and the solution. And so I use the mastery of self work that I do to really work with authors and really clear a lot of issues so they write a better book. They really do. And I have many stories of people who've been stuck on an area, and it's just so fun. I love doing that, and it's quick. Takes about 15-20 minutes, and the issue's permanently gone.
Wow.
And
Okay,
I
that
know
impresses me right there.
it's really good. It's really good. It really is. Yep. Yep.
And
So.
how did this all come about? How did you develop this yourself then?
No, I did not. I'm working with, I was trained through the Academy of Self-Knowledge, and they've been doing this for 30, 40 years. And I went through the program myself and had so much benefit in my life and my business, my relationships, that I became a trainer. And so now I'm using that in my business, in working with authors. I use it every day. I guide somebody through, a shifting of an issue pretty much every day. And it's lovely. It's such a good tool. It's like my secret superpower. It
Oh my
really
gosh.
is. It's like
I love
my
that.
secret sauce. Yeah, it is.
And
Yes.
how rewarding too to be able to help people in that way and that you
Yeah.
get to do
Yeah.
that on a daily
Yeah.
basis. How
Yeah.
much fun.
Yes, it is. It really is. Yeah, I had one author and she's writing a book about being estranged from her daughter. And it was so painful. She was just crying for 10 years. She was crying for 10 years. And it was really, you can't write a book in that from that mindset, it's really hard. And so we worked together and she shifted so many things and basically connecting to her higher power. And her higher power is telling what the issue is. I'd summarize it like this. I call it the law of subtraction. And so you're perfectly who you are supposed to be. You're perfectly created. There is nothing, nothing is wrong. You're perfectly created. But all this stuff gets piled on top of you and you beliefs and things people told you and that kind of thing. And when you start subtracting it, the real person shines through. And that's so the law of subtraction. And it's based on a truth and a lie can't live in the same place at the same time. And when you believe something that's not true, a part of your real true self separates and it's stored in your subconscious and keeps sending you programming. You're too fat, you're too ugly, you're not unlovable, I'm unwanted, I'll never succeed. It goes on and on. And those can be shifted very quickly. Yeah,
Wow. And
yeah,
that's the part that's kind of catching me. It's like it can be
yeah,
done quickly. That sounds like
yes.
something that is
It
difficult.
can.
And
It is, yeah. And in fact, this one woman that I just referred to, 10 years of suffering, 10 years. She cried every day for 10 years. And in 2 weeks, we worked together for 28 days. I would say in 7 days, that cleared up and all the other issues started going away very fast. I know. Don't you
wow.
want that? Sign me up for
Yes.
that.
It's like,
I
who
know
wouldn't?
exactly. Who wants a shortcut to peace, really? It's like a
Oh,
shortcut to peace. And it requires some effort, you have to put the effort in. But boy, the benefits are good. And now she's going to write her book from a completely different mindset. She's writing it. It's going to be really good. Yeah.
excellent. Well, so I should ask, so
Yeah.
have you written books yourself? I
I
know you
have.
help
I've written
others.
many. Yes, I've written many, many books. I've ghostwritten many, many books. And I have a new book coming out. I think May 1st it's coming out. So that's a new one that I got coming. So yeah, I do. I put
Excellent.
books out all the time.
Well, can we ask what's the title of the book that's coming out?
Yes, the title is called The Seven Hidden Traps That Sink Book Launches and How to Avoid Them.
Ooh,
And I
that
give
sounds very
it's
practical.
It is very practical, and it's all about how an author can really be successful in writing a book and launching a book that is going to make money and actually grow their business. So that's what I specialize in, is helping an author know how to use their book strategically to grow their business and make money. That's my other superpower.
And that's so needed because when they have something that they know they want to write,
Yeah,
that's where they are. They've got the book, they've got the
yeah,
idea. They need to figure
yeah,
out then how do I actually put this on paper, and then now
yeah,
what do I do
yeah.
with this? How do I move
And
forward?
exactly. And is it good? Is anybody going to resonate? Is it saying the right thing? Is it moving you towards getting new clients? Is the book actually going to work? And so it really helps to have someone look at that and help you know if it's done right. So yeah, yeah, that's what I
Amazing.
do.
So, and I gotta ask, what is your favorite thing about what you do? What do you enjoy most?
Oh, I would say I had a client yesterday. And she got the first copy of her book in from the print, and so it's mailed to her. And I always ask them to record a video the first time you're opening it because it's really getting your book in your hand. There's something to it. And so she's recording it and opening her book out of the box, and she was almost speechless. She's like, "This is so great! I don't know what to say." And it was so dear because it was really authentic. And that's one of my favorite when they get their first copy of their book in the hand. That really lights me up. I love that. Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'm thinking back to the part of helping people get unstuck.
Yeah.
Where are people at usually when they come to you? Is that the point where they are, where they need the help to become unstuck?
Yes, they're generally stuck in not knowing how to, is how to write the book, so that it's going to grow their business, and then how to market it. So always talk about the three life cycles of a book. One is writing it. That's hard.
Mhm.
And writing a good book is no joke. And then publishing it, it really, really needs to be competitive. If you're walking through Barnes and Noble or a bookstore or whatever, you want to look at the book and have it attract people. And many thousands of self-published books do not look professional and they're not competitive. That's one of the main problems right there. And then the third phase is the marketing. You got to get it into the hands of readers. You need a good plan so that you can take right action. And I have a whole system for that. I have a whole thing for that authors use all the time to launch their books. And I focus on relaunching. So if you have a book and you haven't, it's been 2 years since it's been out, relaunch it. And I call it the 90-day book launch blueprint. Use the blueprint and relaunch your book. Because it's the life cycle's not over. It's got a long life cycle, your book. So one launch isn't enough. Do it again.
I love that. And honestly, I think you're the first person I've heard say that, but that makes so much sense.
I know.
You
Relaunch it.
got
And
it.
another, you have a lot more people in your circle of influence over the years too. And a lot of people might not even know about it. So relaunch your book. Yeah. And then my strategy is to really help you know how it can make money. And so I do strategy with people on how their book can grow their business. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you put
And
that kind of work in and you share
yeah.
yourself through that
Yeah.
book, you want it to be something that
Yeah.
can be enjoyed by the masses.
And so then when we're working together and somebody's writing a book, a lot of people, this is so common, the imposter syndrome. Who am I to say this? Okay. So common. People say it all the time. Who am I to say that? And who's going to read my book? And is my message really important? And so yeah. And so I help them shift that through the work that I do. And so those little things can keep you stuck a long, long time. And so I can help shift that in just a few minutes. So that it really accelerates the journey.
Amazing. And I should ask, do you have a website?
I do. Quantumshiftmedia.com.
Quantum Shift.
Quantumshiftmedia.com is my website.
Wow.
And there's all kinds of information on there, all kinds of freebies on there. And yeah, so come join me. I'd love to chat. Come, let's have a chat. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, and it just so happens we do have an author joining us tonight. I want to bring her into this conversation. She's a longtime friend of the show, Marianne of Waikiki. Welcome. How are you today? And this is World Water Day, so or not World Water Day. I just said the wrong one.
Earth
Marianne,
Day.
what are we celebrating today?
We are celebrating Earth Day.
Earth Day. I
Yeah.
Yes,
see you when I think water. Sorry.
I know, but we did celebrate World Water Day on March 2nd on a catamaran with a sound bath bowl, featuring my fourth book, Cool Acts of Kindness, dedicated to Leon McLaughlin with Clean Water Foundation. So yes, Kiri, nice to meet you.
Me
I go by
too,
Marianne
Marianne.
of Waikiki. It's my sign language name, my book author name. 30 some years ago, I was a case manager with the deaf when President Bush signed the American Disabilities Act. And through my journey of life, I boated and I did sales and I got injured. A manager drove her SUV through a hotel lobby behind me, and I suffered from neck, back, broken hearing loss, and had to fight for my benefits as well when I used to do that for the deaf community. And so I had an opportunity to go to Hawaii. I visited and I ended up staying. And I signed for a deaf man. He was walking down the road on Easter, and I started signing with him. And we were going to the Unity Church, and the universe let me live on a 45-foot sailboat ocean front. And so the creativity was flowing, and we became Reiki masters and energy healing. So, kind of getting rid of that stuck real energy of pain
Yeah.
because of the auto accident injury, the scar tissue, etc., the vertigo I still have. But through prayer and meditation, I asked the universe what my next purpose was, and I was guided. I was going to write a series of children's sign language books with puppets, and I laughed. I'm like, okay, who, what, when, where, how, why? Right. And we walked through the mall, and Folk Manus is a company that has 200 puppets. And there was a chicken that I could put my hands in and I could sign with both hands. There was a bee puppet that's a glove puppet, so I could do the finger spelling ABCs. So I'm like, okay. And it just kept coming to me. So I lived on the sailboat, and all this garbage was floating around, right? And I'd go get up and go to church, and the topics were there. I mean, it was just like divine order, like telling me what these topics are. And Suzanne Simms was a writer, a playwright, and her first husband was the late Colonel James Shannon. And they had a magazine advertising business on the Big Island. And he actually was the man who was influential for writing the movie Men Who Stare at Goats with George Clooney. So she helped me do the outline of it. And so we knew it was going to be about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. Now, I parallel the characters because in our first book, Noah becomes hard of hearing in a boating accident, similar to me, and loses his hearing. And what kind of life is he going to have? And he meets a hermit crab named Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, to rehabilitate him in a rehab clinic. So it's very fun and puns. But Dr. Fingers was a real person who did realign me, and he saw auras, and we became good friends. As well as my deaf friend was he is still very intuitive. And we got the ahas, and Lucy Lynch sang at the church with her beautiful angelic voice. So I would be signing, and one of the topics was Reverend Bomar said, "Rising above sea level," and I'm signing in the back of the church, and I look at Suzanne and I go, "That's the name of the next chapter." So I would, return to the sailboat, and I, still had vertigo. I would lay down and sleep, but my mind was still like training. Okay. And like the characters' names were just starting to come to me. Okay. And it's a beautiful story. We finished it. It's called Underwater Acts of Kindness. We dedicated to Boy and Slat of the Great Pacific or the Ocean Cleanup. And we'll have a book trailer. I have 4 book trailers now for the books. And then I went on a sailing book signing tour, and I got to sail Southwest Florida to Virginia with my Navy man friend, and he cleaned up the explosives around the islands and the world. And so I book signed at Key West Aquarium, Marathon Aquarium, that's Animal Planet, and I sold books at the marina, which covered my sailing expenses. How cool is that? So you think outside the dock box is what I say, but you know. And so, I got to meet Judy Bloom down there in Key West. And so it was, the hard thing was trying to market it and explain it, because not everybody knows sign language and their puppets and characters and how are we going to, all those things, for retail. And so anyway, I came back and Lucy came out with another album. And second book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. Harry, the hard of hearing rabbit, has Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, and Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee. And he learns to stand in his power with the enchanted tree after being bullied. And so it's a beautiful story. At the end, we have a rainbow birthday party, a parade, and everybody felt left out because they didn't know sign. So they wanted to be part of this journey. And we have a song, Forgiveness, in it, Froggiveness. Okay. So we have a lot of funs and puns in it. And the character names too. I mean, over in Hawaii and everything. But it was fulfilling my purpose of years of being of service, especially to a deaf man and being bullied. Not only him, myself as an interpreter. And this is what the world needed. And so we finished that. It's with Harry and his classmates. And then we went to the polo matches. So I wrote Pono, the Hawaiian polo pony, which is righteous acts of kindness. And there are coloring pages in it. And then I met Leon McLaughlin in Hawaii. I was introduced to him, and he brings water units worldwide. And I said, hey, when you fly back to Seattle, you're going to fly over the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. I want you to read this book. Okay. And, the idea is, gosh, could you imagine if the airlines picked up this book or made this really into a movie? And we have 500 million people worldwide now with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. And these are educational and they're puppets. And we got a great, beautiful soundtrack. So he took it back, and I told Suzanne I met him, and we finished the book, Cool Acts of Kindness. dedicated to him. It's about a camp, and we introduce another 10 to 12 characters with Lucy's short songs. So my vision is to bring them into animation movies with the sign language characters and folk mantis puppets, and no one has done that with sign language characters. So I'm saying I'm not giving up. There's some challenges because of licensing and copywriting. I did get federally trademarked with an intellectual property attorney during the pandemic when I received pandemic unemployment assistance. I kept expense reports. I hired Fiverr to do the graphics, and I created 10 Apple app games to go to learn the ABCs. And then we created a YouTube video channel with those three characters. And then we created coloring books. So Suzanne has been along with this journey because don't get me wrong, we all like, let's just give up, right? Why is this all, I want to say stuck in my head, right? And how am I going to get this out into the world? And guess what? We met Kurt and Sue Roskopf through the Happy Neighborhood projects. And we've been continuing to do that flow and having the World of Ability podcast. And last year I said we got to have a book club. So now we're reading a chapter of the book every Saturday, and it's by storyteller Santa Papa John. So what a great team. And I also won Awesome Grant Foundation Award, $1,000 out of Honolulu. So we gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit, value $150. And it was October, so we gifted them the book Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, which is anti-bullying month. And Leanne was there. I did it by Zoom because I flew to Canada, and Jay Stoyan of the Disability Channel was interviewing me at that time also. And I got to go to a library, and I met an interpreter with some deaf friends, and but the books weren't still edited. There's a lot of work, to edit and revise it. And I'm so grateful because Lori Barth, she edited them for free. She works at the Attorney General's office in Honolulu, and they had this computer that could edit it, that was kicking back stuff, on locations. And we're talking about specifics in Hawaii. I'm like, how are you so smart to know this? And then she told me, but again, it's a lot of work. And to position the puppets, because I self did it. Secondly, it's just the characters. I didn't hire an illustrator. And to position the puppets looking at each other and signing and all that. So I'm grateful I got all that creativity out of my head. And boy, what a journey. And I did go sail with my deaf friend. And we did it at Sea Life Park, a book signed with the puppets. So I'm in San Carlos, Mexico now. And I have creative ideas since being here to write books that are bilingual now with Chat GPT, shorter books with the mini puppets. They have street dogs here, so it's coastal acts of kindness. So the idea is to, when the people return in the fall, they do a lot of fundraising so that these books would be available, these short books at the Rotary Club, the SBCA now would be able to fundraise, purchase these books and give them to the local schools here as well as a water unit. So I asked, there's a book fair on Sunday. We have a nice restaurant. Captain Robert plays piano there. I came with him, my friend from Hawaii, on the sailboat. So we've been here for 3 years. And my goal is to ask them to be introduced to a literary council in Sonora, Mexico, to make sure that I am approved to be on a reading list in Mexico. With I got approved on the social emotional learning curriculum in Hawaii. They didn't bring them into the schools. I was a winner of Donors Choose. We did get them into one school, and we want to multiply that acts of kindness. And so there's a lot of creative work to do, but I'm glad I got it out of me. So some of that misplaced energy, and I get up and then, don't start it again. And then guess what? The creativity just starts flowing. And we have Water Flow, the deaf whale in this book, Cool Acts of Kindness. So again, I created 4 book trailers now. And I can't thank you, Sue and Kurt, Jay Stoyan, On the Mark TV, and non-profit TV in Texas is showcasing my book trailers in Denny's restaurants. How cool is that? And we got the book to White and Slat in Europe. But we'll talk because I need that financial return on investment investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So great to meet you. The universe put us together. And again, Milwaukee, happy Earth Day. I hope you guys are recovering from the snow and the tornadoes. And, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me and you. Peace, love,
That's
happiness, and
exactly.
thanks. And our tagline is so go out and play. Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. Well, Karen, I want to go ahead and give you a chance to comment if you like on what she's all doing here.
Oh, I love what she's doing and getting the books into reading lists and into and the trailers and Denny's. It's great. I love it. I love it. And I no doubt those books are going to make an impact on children and how they perceive themselves, how they perceive the world. That's beautiful, beautiful. My husband wears a cochlear implant, and
Oh, okay.
so the whole yeah, so the deaf and his aunt is a sign language. Her career was an interpreter,
Mm-hmm.
so that's very dear to us. That's a very dear subject for us. So thank you, Marianne, for all that you're doing. I love your energy.
Oh, thank you. So
Awesome.
yeah, we'll connect. And
Yeah,
again, we'll roll
absolutely.
over and Sue will showcase the book trailers too as well.
That's great.
Yeah, and with
Good.
Marianne's information, I should make sure to share out. Her website is actsofkindnessseries.com. That website again, actsofkindnessseries.com. So that's Marianne's work all on that site. And we're talking websites. Actually, Karen, if you want to mention yours again.
Yes, mine is quantumshiftmedia.com. And my KerenKilgore.com forwards it. So that's why I have that on there. So yeah, so quantumshiftmedia.com and there's all kinds of information there. So good,
Beautiful. Well, and I
good.
know you, Karen, I know you have had the chance to interact with lots of people over time and helped lots of people. What's one of your favorite stories or interactions you've had with your authors? Do you have a favorite you want to share?
I do. One of them is a book called I Choose Adam. And Adam was born with Down syndrome and autism. And the book is called I Choose Adam, Nothing Special, Please. And his father wanted him to be part of a normal everyday life and not be put into special education classes and whatnot. So he really, really worked and advocated for him. And so we wrote this book about Adam's life, and it's one of my favorites. It's just a really dear story. And Adam ended up going to college and living on his own. And it's a beautiful story about you set your mind to do something and don't let anybody tell you you can't and you can achieve it. And that's just one of my favorites. Yeah.
That's
So,
beautiful. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. Anything that can be a
yeah,
success story and show people that anything
yeah,
is possible. And that's
yeah,
part of why we're here. Ability
yeah,
MKE now. I mean, it
yeah,
really is, look at my
yeah,
ability, not my disability,
yeah,
and showcase what you've got. What can you do?
yeah,
We all have special and unique
yeah,
pieces
yeah,
with what we can offer to the world.
yeah, yeah.
And actually, I'll just give you a final thought if you'd like to share.
Yes, your message matters. You have a message, and there are people who can only hear it from you. Your perspective makes the biggest difference on it. So even if someone has written something about it, your approach, your experience, is different than anybody else. You're unique. And so your message matters. People need to hear what you have to say. So don't disqualify yourself. Go for it. You have something important to say. Don't give up. Keep going.
I love that.
That's
That
right.
absolutely matches all the
Yeah,
things that we do here. And
yeah.
again, Karen, thank you so much for being here. Marianne, for all of us here with Ability MKE now, as always, we thank you.
And you are the good news and you are its messenger. Aloha, Milwaukee.